You know this is going to be an issue that you hear a lot about tonight as the Democratic National Convention kicks off, and that is this battle that President Trump seems to be waging with the U.S. Postal Service all over what he claims is widespread mail fraud for mail-in voting. He continues to make the argument without much substantial evidence behind it.
But the development.
But now it's what he's doing to the Postal Service. It was one thing when he was just saying, I think it's bad and I think it's a problem. Now it appears he is making active moves to slow down the Postal Service ahead of the election.
Overtime, mail sorters being taken out, mailboxes being taken out, all sorts of budgetary confinements, with a Postmaster General who was a big contributor to Donald Trump's campaign. And now Nancy Pelosi wants the House back and wants that House to get Donald Trump's house and the post office's house back in order. Can they do it is the question.
One of the people who is trying to stand in his way is Congresswoman Barbara Lee from California. She is joining us right now to talk about what Congress is doing to stem the tide here in this battle over the post office. Congresswoman, welcome to TMZ Live.
Yes, glad to be with you, and thank you so much for covering this, because first of all, the Postal Service should be a nonpartisan issue in terms of preserving it, in terms of making sure it's fully funded, in terms of its ability to carry out delivery of mail throughout the country, both in rural and urban communities. Secondly, we have to remember that, again, it should not be a partisan issue. Finally, I'll just say, as an African American, let me just take a moment to personalize this, because my grandfather was a letter carrier. He was the first African American letter carrier in El Paso, Texas. But the Postal Service has been one of the primary agencies that has allowed African Americans to lift themselves out of poverty into the middle class. And that's been our livelihood for so many years. So just workers in general, postal workers, are going to be affected by this. And not to mention the link to our constitutional rights to vote. So this is an American issue, and it's un-American what this president is doing. We're going back to Washington, D.C. I believe we'll have our votes on Saturday to try to make sure we move in a bipartisan way to preserve the Postal Service.
I got to ask about that because, look, I mean, I'm assuming that the House could pass a strong bill trying to protect the post office and mail service, especially in the next couple of months. But then it goes to the Senate. And then if there's any legislation, doesn't it have to go to the president? So I guess the question, you can have hearings and you could even subpoena the Postmaster General, but realistically, is there anything you can do to blunt this?
Well, realistically, there are lawsuits that could be filed. There are a variety of public pressure means that can be used, but we have to take this very quickly, this first step. And in fact, I think the political pressure, you see what's taking place now. Many Republicans are supporting the call to get Donald Trump to stop this and to support the funding, I believe $25 billion for the Postal Service in this last bill. And so you don't, I don't discount public pressure.
But Congresswoman, during the hearings, is there any effort to call someone in for the hearing to address what the president keeps saying? The fact of the matter is most people are going to want to vote by mail because of the pandemic. It feels like part of the issue here is just addressing his claim that there is voter fraud in mail-in votes.
Sure, there will be plenty of witnesses at the hearing. I think it's going to be the Government Reform and Oversight Committee that will be conducting these hearings to refute. Those allegations or charges have been refuted already, but I think in the form of a public hearing, it's extremely important to get that on the record. He's just trying to steal the election once again.
Well, here's the thing. Just so you know, we're trying to do our part where almost every week we are having a takeover on our website so people can register to vote. And if they want mail-in ballots, there's still plenty of time and they can do that.
Well, I'm really glad you're doing that because we're asking people to look at maybe October 15th as election date. So get people to get their ballots in, request and get them in as early as possible. So I'm glad
Right.
you're doing that,
Yeah.
and thank you very much.
Thank you, because you're going to have to jump on a plane, and people are not crazy about doing that. But I'm assuming you're going back to
DC.
Washington this week, so please stay safe, Congresswoman.
Thank you. Yeah, flying is challenging, believe you me, and we try to follow all of the health protocols that not the occupant of the White House has set forth, but what CDC and what our state officials have indicated that would protect people. So thank you very much. It is, though, I would advise people, if you don't have to travel, don't travel.
Okay. Well, look, we appreciate having you on. We'll follow you in the hearings too. Thank you, Congresswoman.
Okay, thank you very much, and thank you for staying woke and keeping everybody engaged.
And you too. Thank you. Okay. Hey, Charles, I think you ought to heed the Congresswoman's words and maybe cancel that vacation.